and welcome to the next episode of Explore Iran with Nadia. I'm outside of Isfahan on the way to Kashan, but I'm going to take a quick stopover at this extraordinarily beautiful red ancient village of Iran called Abiyaneh. So, just like me, pack up your curiosities and come along. Let's hit the road. By the way, notice how interesting is the formation of this landscape. How beautiful. Abiyaneh is situated in the foothills of Kirghiz mountains, so when you see these larger hills approaching, you know you're well and truly near your destination. Keep your eyes peeled though, the village knows how to perfectly camouflage itself into its surroundings. Have a look for yourself. Notice the peculiar red color of the whole landscape. This is due to the high concentration of iron oxide present in the soil. Since the clay houses here are made from the same soil, the whole terrain seems to be harmoniously red. It is due to this reason that this little village is also famous as the Little Red Village of Iran. Coming up next is the detour to my accommodation, a stroll around the village, and some historical facts, so stay tuned. There are 2 hotels in this area. I'm staying at Hotel Vienna for a night. Just check out the surrounds, how beautiful. Quite frankly, I wasn't expecting an accommodation this grand, neat, clean and tidy in a small old village. But then, this is Iran. Expect to be surprised in the most delightful way. For now, let's check out the insides. Look at how warm, welcoming and vibrant the whole arrangement is. There are so many cozy areas to be sitting at. For example, this one. And look at the views through the windows. How beautiful. I'm on my floor and you can see that there is a hole created in the center of the building for the light to pour in from all around, as well as from the sunroof which is covered with the stained glass. And this is what the hole looks at. I hope you're enjoying. I'm about to enter my room and I'm going to pause my narration for a while to let you appreciate how quiet this place was. In fact, the whole village was extremely quiet. So let's take a break from this narration and enjoy this silent serenity together. My room. Look at the view. Abiyaneh village. Did you like it? I loved it. Well, without any further delay, let's go and check out the village. It's getting cloudy, so we better hurry. The very first scenes which greeted my eyes were these. The narrow red brick road, branching into narrower alleyways, the cherry blossom, the terracotta houses, the freshness in the air, and the beautiful sound of the spring water. I was feeling completely stimulated in my 5 senses. The walk was looking so promising, I couldn't wait to explore some more. The most noticeable thing for me was the quietness and the tidiness of this place. It was almost as though no one lived there. The last known census says that an aging population of less than 300 families only inhabit this place. The village is drenched in history with several of its own unique attributions. A remarkable fact is that this village is 500 years older than Jesus, yet it is still holding on to some of its ancient traditions to the present times. Therefore, very rightly so, this place is considered as the living anthropological museum for this region. Some of the works of construction here date back to Sassanid era. The signs of early Muslim rule from the 7th century are still intact and functional to date, such as the old original doors with 2 knockers. The everyday dressing of the locals is still a representation of the old times, and so is their vocabulary and dialect in their everyday conversations. So, do not be amazed if you hear a local call this place Viuna instead of Abiyaneh. In the local language, the name for this place is Viuna, which means a garden of willow trees. For now, let's look at the double knockers and the ideology behind it. This system was introduced by the Muslim rule in the region, essentially to acknowledge the right of a woman visitor to be greeted by the lady of the house. Therefore, the lighter door knocker for a female visitor and a heavier door knocker for a male visitor. How interesting that Islam was centuries ahead of the world in speaking up for the women's rights. The next time I'm there, I'm definitely going to see if this system still works. After all the walk by that time, I was feeling like treating myself to some local supper and some warm tea. So I grabbed myself some food at this beautiful restaurant called Dumilun, which also marked the end of my walk for the day. This building which you're looking at is their formal dining facility. And then there are these private cabins built all around the spring water coming from the mountains. I decided to sit in one of their treehouse cabins to have my food and my tea. The cabin was nicely warmed by a heater. However, I do not have a proper photo of it to show you here, but let's just check out one of these cabins anyway. And here is the photo of my tea. Back at the hotel on my balcony, I waited eagerly to take some night shots. The skies were cloudy and it was getting darker, but the well-lit up village was beaming right back at me as though saying, "Good night, Nadia. It was nice meeting you." The night scene was so overpowering, so mesmerizing. I was feeling so cold, yet I could not bring myself to get inside until I was too drowsy with sleep. In fact, I was completely glued to these dark, mysterious silhouettes of the hills in front of me. The faint hissing sound of the wind, the strange call of the bird and the dog barking, and the very many shimmering lights of this ancient living legend called Abiyaneh. It was almost as though I was already dreaming, and I just needed to wake up. The next day I was meant to check out, so I got up nice and early, and I was so excited to see that the sun was out as well, which meant I could take clearer photos of the mountain from my balcony as well as from around the hotel. The last ritual remaining here for me was to have my breakfast. So I made my way to their dining facility and grabbed myself some cucumber, cheese, tomatoes, eggs, wrap them in a bread, dip it in the cream, honey, and jams, and guzzle it down with some hot tea. Voila! And here are the final images of the reddest, quietest, and the oldest, most fascinating village that I've ever been to. I really hope I could come back here sometime soon and stay here for longer. It's time to say bye now. Thank you so much for watching my video. Next time, you will see me in Kashan.